welcome everybody to the Artist Coaching Podcast, the podcast for the artists who are serious about their music career. And today we have another episode with Jay Hardway, Bassjackers, and myself. How are you guys? Yeah, it's always the question where everybody is in the screen.
You are to the right of me, and Jopke is way over there.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
different.
Oh, you're in the middle.
These guys, I don't know how it is on YouTube. That's always the giveaway.
I'm also in the middle. Anyway, how have you guys been?
good.
Yeah,
Very
Yeah.
good, and you, Joey?
And you?
very good, to be
Have you
honest.
been to any parties lately?
I've been to. Nice of you to ask. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, by the way, your lightning it has to change. You're
It's
yellow.
a bit too much, huh?
Yeah, you're yellow.
Black and yellow, black
Anyway,
and
I've
yellow.
been to a party in my hometown last weekend, which is called Draaimolen. It's one of the Draaimolen, which is Ferris wheel. Is that no? That's not Ferris wheel. It's the how do you call it in English?
Merry-go-round.
Oh yeah, merry-go-round.
Not draaimolen.
Which is merry-go-round, but it's like a what was it, like a techno deep ambient kind of festival. I'm actually not sure what the right genre is, but pretty experimental. Let's keep it there.
But that is draaimolen. It
Yeah,
is
it is.
experimental.
Yeah, it is. It's
not
actually
for-
it's
Normies.
where I believe
Bonus.
Kiki, the DJ, I think she broke through there, right? She kind of got big by playing there.
Yeah, she always used to play there together
Yeah.
with Job Jobse. And now
Yeah.
they together they closed off the Alpha at Lowlands. 65,000 people, which is quite remarkable.
Yep.
I think it's
They
one
were
of
the-
the DJ performances of this last summer.
And
Yeah.
for Lowlands, probably the highlight for a lot of people in general.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's
But-
the most I saw. And then they had Willem from the Opposites have some kind of speech
Oh,
with a Showtech track, I think, and it was like
Yeah.
really, really cool. So it's
Yeah.
on YouTube probably somewhere or TikTok, but definitely check out Kiki and Job Jobse and Willem.
Yeah.
On
But
Lowlands.
you don't like that, huh, Jopke?
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
me-
I'm totally on. No,
Uh-huh.
no, it's not my that whole set is definitely not my choice of music. But I have to say that moment they created with that went viral was
For everybody to know, me and Jopke in the app, we sometimes have a discussion because I never get why Jopke doesn't like that. Because it's a lot of trance infused, built on like loads of melodies, more than ever. And Jopke is always pretending he's the melody lover himself. So we're living in this age of dance music where melody is more important than ever, and then he doesn't like it.
yeah. Well, it's just it has to do with the just the overall tracks and the way they're produced sometimes. It's just it doesn't. It's not that I find it bad. It's just a lot of it's not for me. Yeah, but it's not that I wouldn't put a genre away ever as like I hate that. It's just I haven't come across the right track yet, maybe, in that genre. But yeah, I just maybe I also just hear the wrong snippets where I'm like, oh, maybe I'll give it a chance, and then I hear something and I'm like, nope, not for me. Not
Have
even.
you checked out the track "Losing Control" by Marlon Hofstad and Kiki?
I think I've seen it on
TikTok.
come by on socials. Is that the track they play
Man.
8 times in one set? That went viral because they played it so many times.
No, that never happened.
I think
But
so.
it's a good track. And I always say, if you're into dance music and you're serious about it, I mean, this is the podcast for people who are serious about their career, serious into dance music. It's one of the tracks actually that's supported like, hey, I seen Hartwell play it, Tiesto, but also then the more undergroundish people play it.
But it's a matter of
You should
taste,
know
right?
that. You should know that track. It's one of the summer hits in dance landscape.
But
It's
it's still a matter
broadly
of taste, right?
supported.
As in,
Now, the point I'm making is, it's not whether or not you like it. You should definitely give it a good listen because
okay.
it's
I
one of
know
the
the track.
more the. It's one. Oh, now you
I
know
looked it
it.
up. No, I looked it up, and it's like, yeah, I've heard that track on TikTok a lot. It's actually the track where Marlon and Kiki went back to back, and it's someone commented, yeah, why do you play the same track 8 times? And then they commented on that with another video that they just didn't care, and they're just gonna play it how many times they want. It was quite funny.
Okay,
Anyway,
but
that's why I go to these
it's a
festivals.
really cool chord progression.
That's why I go to these festivals. As in, it's not my type of music. As in, I do like some tech house, sometimes techno. I actually don't really know what the genres are that are connected to it, but with Dry Motor, for example, I didn't hear a single melody the whole day. It was all rhythm. It was all like
Now, but to be honest, Kiki and Job Jobse are now considered commercial,
yeah, exactly.
according to dry mode
Yeah,
standards.
Dry Motor really has like even more underground, like super experimental, you could say. So, but it's
But is it
high quality.
experimental or is it more back to the roots of dance music where the
Nah,
groove is more
it's
important
also a
than
lot of ambient, for example, like just sounds, just
yeah,
not even dance music, but more
we
like
call
sound.
it drugs music.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
also think a lot of people did drugs.
That's probably why I tuned out, because I didn't do drugs. I did
Mm.
had a beer, but that was not enough to kind of go that level. Uh, so yeah. Anyway, by the way, we have another big donation from Mr. Melodramatic. $50 coffee run.
Hey,
Let's
amazing.
go.
Dude.
Let's go. Anyway, I didn't even check the chat yet. Holy shit, everybody's here.
Cheers, bro.
Sorry, everybody. What's up? Gerard Francis, Ben Singh, Kushagra, Melodramatic with the big 50, Lion Harris, Music IDs, Bit3, Mikey Foden is here, Israel Carter, 24 Carats, Josh Letiche, Ben Singh, Gabriel Uy, Isan Kara, Klaus, Rave, I guess a Grey Max. Yeah, I think we have them all almost right now. That's a sick turn up, and thanks again for the donation, Mr. Corey. Looking forward to meeting you during ADE. It's almost ADE time, everybody. It's what is it? It's a rough month from now. Yeah, about
A month and a half, a little
bit more
bit
than a month.
less. Yeah.
And I'm getting. You always notice it when ADE is almost here, because you just get those emails from people like, "Hey, are you in Amsterdam? Let's hook up." So
Let's
the
hook up. Oh wow.
yeah
Wow.
the
I
agenda is
thought you had
I
a
never get
girlfriend.
those DMs. I
no,
never get
oh,
those DMs.
wrong
Hmm.
room, wrong crowd.
So
Anyway, that's gonna be fun. If you want to come, if you are coming to Amsterdam, and if you want to join our event, make sure to do it quick, because there's not much tickets left. So if you don't have your tickets yet, make sure to check them out.
Then we keep saying that until the day before the event.
Yeah,
We almost sold out.
almost sold out.
Every
early
week.
birds are gone.
No, honestly,
Every week.
Only 2 early birds.
I think there's only
That's a
5
good
tickets
tactic,
left.
actually. I
Well,
remember there's DJs that did that with merch. They had like 2 jackets or something, 2 of the and they already sold out
sold
in
out.
1 hour. And
Yeah.
then still
Yeah.
like 1 hour to sell 2 jackets.
We have like, I think
So,
we have like 5 tickets left, so that's not much. So if someone wants to come and haven't bought it yet, make sure to do it now. It's just a friendly reminder. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Where's the?
yeah. Well, what are we talking about?
No, yeah, I was
Yeah,
just looking up
Joey,
the
enlighten
document.
us.
Here we go. Last time we talked about discipline in the studio, which obviously is an important topic, and we also have the challenge going on right now in the Discord, which is connected to that, as in the 30-day music challenge, where you make 30 minutes of music every day for 30 days straight. By the way, if you want to join that challenge, you're free. You're welcome. Join it right now. There's still like, 20 days left. So if you want to join, go to the Discord. But that's all about discipline. But once you're consistent in the studio, once you've managed to build that discipline muscle, you also realize that you as an artist face a question like, what actually makes me different? Because now you can make music, but what makes you different from all these other people in the world that are making music? So my question to you guys, one of the questions is, when you started as music producers, did you start by copying the music you liked, or did you start by trying something different than everybody else?
No, I copied like a lot.
Yeah.
It's a great way to learn about structure, sound. Try to equal the sound.
But
Uh,
like copying as in like recreating the track?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I
Yeah.
try to like really recreate something I heard. It's actually a lot easier right now than it was because the preset game and all the tools were less. But that way you really could learn about your synths you were using, what they would do, how they would work. Yeah, it's also not only sound wise but also structure wise. Okay, why is this track so nice? Why does this just flow? What are they doing now?
Mhm.
Sometimes I take another track, a reference track, and then look at their arrangement, and then think like, ah, shit, man, this is way too long in my part. And yeah, you can learn so much. Yeah, so try to recreate stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Jopke? Did you have the same approach, or did you start
Yeah, yeah,
different?
yeah. I was like happy when I found FL Studio because I could write melodies in it. That for me was like the wow, I can use the piano roll to draw in melodies. That
Mhm.
was like my like aha moment of like that's what I've been looking for. But then quickly you realize like okay, so you look online for stuff you can remake. I remember Bass Hunter was big and he was showing like this is how I make a song. So my first songs is like probably using the same kind of sounds and same kind of structure and arrangement that he did.
Yeah.
And that, like Ralph said, it immediately puts you on a path. And the funny thing about remaking is you always do something different anyways. You can't exactly recreate it, but that because you do something just a bit different, you find a new sound.
Mhm.
And then it's almost like sort of a collab with the, the guy you're copying from.
Yeah.
But if you do that more and more and more, then you get an idea of when you then start DJing, you get an idea of oh, I want to do this a bit different for that track, and you always keep referencing. Even now, I'm like sometimes I create a like a loop or a drop and a break, and then I'm like, how would this work? And then I go to tracks that are like, hey, this arrangement works. Why does it work? And what do they do here in the break?
Yeah.
So it's not like I steal the sounds or whatever. But I'm like, oh wait, they cut off the bass there, and this snare fill does that. So I think remaking and referencing always is one of the best ways to learn.
Yeah.
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 Re-engineering, actually. I recall that when I was in the Rock Academy, which is a music school, that's also how we learned. We just got homework by remaking songs that we actually liked. But if I think about how I personally started back then, what I always did was well, maybe it was because I didn't have the skills to actually make the full track, but I tried to remake somebody's synth, for example, and ended up somewhere like 80% of that, but still kind of added my own thing to it. So it kind of was what I was looking for, but not completely. So that's also that 80-20 rule, I guess, which I was dealing with back then.
Ooh.
Um,
Bless you, Ralph.
Gracias.
Bless you. By the way, I see that For You and Klaus just bought their tickets, so I guess there's just three ish kind of left now.
Okay, we
That's
sell out in
Late
this episode
birds.
oh shit, we
live.
still out. Yeah,
We
there we
sell
go.
out.
There we
10x
go.
that shit.
But I think what's also was different back then is that right now I just assume that most people use Splice, for example, and that it's just very easy to pick melody MIDI files or sample loops, for example. Back then it was pretty hard to get those, even if they did exist. So you had to create all those beat loops, you had to create all those melody MIDIs. I think that's just a bit different from now. Like the effort was a bit higher back then.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what I
I
think.
think sometimes it makes you a bit lazy. Like sometimes I look for a hi-hat loop, and I go to the ones that exist, and I remember being more like, oh, I'm getting 3 hi-hats, and then I make my own hi-hat loop out of it. So sometimes it is also good to remember that and limit yourself a bit. And actually, this I noticed a lot with Ralph Blurry.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm
This I
blurred, man.
I noticed this a lot with percussion. Like percussion loops are some work for a track when you click them on, but a lot of times the percussion arrangement is just different for every track and should be different. So it's
Yeah.
good to just get a bunch of drum samples and play around with that.
You
Um,
guys are such boomers, man.
Really? What I like to do was create my own percussion loops and then send them to a group and then push them through a guitar rig.
Amazing.
Still
That
can do it.
always sounded
I mean, no,
great.
but it's you said that you had to work harder. It's more easy right now. That's true, but I think the quality of music now is way higher
Yeah,
than it
definitely.
used to be. So
Much higher.
it's a level playing field, and that for me is actually what's making it maybe just as hard right now. We all have the same. We can all tap into all the same stuff. A lot of stuff is really close by for you to use. The level of competition is way harder,
Yeah,
way higher,
that's true.
and the entry level of producing music is even lower than it used to be. We started in the year 2000 or so with you had to have a studio of 100,000 euros, and then it became easier and easier and easier, and it's never been as easy. But that also it like increases competition,
True.
and you can just notice that dance music is so well produced now, and I think that's why it's maybe even harder.
Yeah, that might be. That's true.
Yeah.
And in regards for the beginning producers, like um, what I struggled with as well was like the question of should I focus on experimenting more or should I focus on building one genre? Because at one in one hand you would like to say like no, that in the early start of your career you want to experiment more because that's where you kind of find out what you like and what makes your sound your sound. But at the same time, you also want to be consistent with what you put out. So
In the end, it's quite simple. If you like something, you make it. You have a vision about dance music, how you think you should perform dance music, what people should hear. Uh, that's your vision, and that's what you make. And if people also like that, then they will start following you. That's like a real basic conceptualization of how it works.
we actually have a clip of the week of this. Let me look it up.
James Hype.
No, not James Hype. It's actually probably someone. Well, I guess you know him pretty well.
It's always a guy.
It's always that's true.
House music, you don't just like,
Whoa!
you also like Japanese music or 80s rock ballads. I made a career combining cinematic and Indian sounds with EDM. Uber combined dudes with cars and people who need rides. You see, rather than reinvent the wheel, you can simply fuse two unlikely inspirations to form something new. Now you're innovating, now you're bringing perspective to the table that only you could bring. So that's my first key of finding your sound. We're trying to reveal who you are, and you are the sum of a life of interest and many things. So the more we hear those, the more we hear you. You like house music?
That's actually related. No. That's actually relating to your point, Ralph. As in, just make whatever you want to make. You are the sum of all the things you've consumed throughout your life. And for him, that was Indian music with what was it? Indian music with
Cinematic and
cinematic.
house, of
Yeah.
course, EDM. And the dude speaks wise words. I always like talking to Niles. We worked a lot together. The dude knows his way around the studio. And he is as wise as he looks.
He is as wise as he looks. Hey, quick break. If you're an artist who's serious about growing his career, but you feel stuck and you don't know what to do, you feel overwhelmed, that's exactly what we help you with at Artist Coaching. At Artist Coaching, we offer one-on-one personal coaching for DJs and music producers who want to turn their passion into a sustainable career. Whether you're struggling with finishing your music, building your brand, or just figuring out how to stand out, we've been there and we can help. If that sounds like you, head over to artistcoaching.nl and book your free intake call so we can check where you're at in your career and see if we can help you. All right, back to the episode. Okay. We have quite a shit ton of questions in the community, so I suggest we get started with
The jingle.
community questions. As always, we take on questions from the community in our Discord server. That's the place where you can send your questions throughout the week. And in this episode, in the live streams, we take those questions and answer them. The first question... Huh?
I answer them.
Answer them. The first question is from the special one. What is the most effective way to get your music heard?
Sending it through the interweb. It's a really broad question. Who needs to listen to it? That's your main, first question I get. That who do you want to listen to? But if it's DJs, it's finding their emails, finding their contacts, finding a good promo service. But it's a very broad question. It is really hard these days to get your music heard. I think that's the main challenge a lot of producers struggle with. But I think if you're consistent with a consistent sound and consistent quality, you have more chance of getting noticed over time. But over time is very important. I think it also will just take time.
Yeah.
But there's so many ways to get your music out there. But that's why the question is so broad. It's like, who do you want it to hear it? Like that's a bit of my counter question.
You know, it's always the question: how do I get my music to the right people and then the people I aim for? And there's actually no other answer than Jopke just stated. Just send it out through whatever medium you can get your hands on: TikTok, Snap, Instagram, email, whatever. Even if you know the home address, just send a pigeon, and eventually your music will get heard. Don't expect a reply back if somebody doesn't like it enough. They won't give you feedback on how you can improve it up until a level they want to. Usually it's comes down to I like this or I don't like this answer. If they like it, then you will maybe talk about some feedback points. But if somebody doesn't like it, usually they don't reply.
Yeah.
But sometimes they do.
Yeah. Also, if they like it and play it, for example, you're gonna be happy, but then instantly you're gonna realize like it might not even do anything for you. I've had this happen multiple times where I think Joey and me talked about it last week. Like my track got like a remix for a remix competition got played on the radio, and then you think like, oh, now things are gonna pop off and things are gonna go off. And with every little success, you always kind of think like, oh, now it's going well. But the longer you're in this business, you realize, yes, now that thing does well, but everybody's then always, and you should always strive for the next thing that's coming up, because that keeps you in motion. You want to keep that momentum going.
Yeah.
So if someone likes your track, the next month at least you want to send them another track that's just as good or better, because that's eventually, I think when I got into the scene, you could get away with maybe one track being successful. You could kind of build a career from that. But I think especially now, it's so important to have like, oh, you have one good track, amazing, a DJ can play it, but then, hey, where's more of that? And that's how you really build support, but also a name and eventually a fan base, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Like to answer that question, and also a second question, because that is making content the only way to get an audience nowadays when you're starting out? It's
Indeed.
not. It's a big part of it, but it's not. But to give you an answer, it always starts with your first goal as an artist is to reach an audience, to build reach, and that happens mostly on socials these days. It's just the easiest place where these things happen. Um, from there, you go to interacting with your audience. Like once people start to reply to you, you want to start focusing on replying to those people and preferably sending them one level deeper, as in maybe your Discord or an email list or whatever, because that's where you want to build the fan base. And then by the end of everything, you have loyalty, as in you really start working with your fan base. But it all starts with that very first step is getting your music heard throughout all those channels that we just mentioned, the socials, sending it to DJs, playing it yourself, whatever you can come up with. That's always the first step for every artist.
Yeah, and I forgot SoundCloud. I love
SoundCloud,
SoundCloud.
obviously. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Like all
you
these
can,
things.
yeah, you can. There's loads of ways to push your music. Hyped it. It's being used a lot. Yeah, but it actually starts with making good music.
Yeah,
And
but
yeah, you
that's
never know
that's
if it's good.
yeah, exactly.
No.
That's a
Yeah,
very
that's it's difficult in the beginning to realize if it's good or not. But I think
It's
that's also a
actually
sense you have to develop a bit
it's
to if you
actually
send it out.
really interesting to talk about what is good music.
Yeah.
When is it being perceived? I mean,
if it makes you
if you
feel
make
something.
it on the big toe of your grandma and it's playable, it's
No, but
really
I
if
think if you find it
really
interesting, if you find it
impressive.
interesting
But
yourself, is what mostly matters. I think
Mhm.
in the first part of that, I think that's if it interests you, go with it. I think that's
no, but
important
that's
in
not per
creating
se
stuff.
good music, because
But
I've
what?
seen so
No, but
many
I think
people.
it's
They
so
were like
personal.
really impressed by themselves
Yeah,
about what they have
that's
made.
how it starts. That's how it starts. That's how you start that fire
But
of I'm
nobody
gonna
else wants
continue.
to listen to that track. So then we can maybe say, maybe it's not as good. It's still nice that you could have made
I
it.
Yeah, true.
it's
But
it's
I
that it's that Afrojack
maybe it's
clip.
an irrelevant question. Maybe
It's
it's
that
just
Afrojack clip saying like 80% you should decide for yourself, but you should also think about what other people like and implement that. Otherwise, you might struggle to get your music heard because good music is it's unrelevant, as in you're never going to answer that question because it's different for everybody. But there is music that just works and music that doesn't work in some kind of way. So I would say, yes, stick with what you like making the most, but you should also consider what just works.
I think it is relevant because a lot of people, and I notice, are a little bit frustrated maybe, or they have questions like, why isn't anybody picking up my tracks? They are good, is what they think. But
It's what they
the
think.
other
Yeah,
conclusion could also be that no, it's nice that you've made it, you've come a long way, but you're not there yet. It's
yeah,
a big playing field with a lot of competition, with a lot of talented people. It's perfectly fine if you cannot reach the level you want to achieve, but
yeah, but
yeah,
that is kind of assuming like a track is good because it has success. And I think if a track isn't successful, it can still be someone can think it's bad, someone can think it's good. It can be considered good it's like it's just really not that relevant. If the track is successful, it still doesn't have to be good. Like it's just there's so many factors that come into play. Also the timing of the track. Maybe your track isn't good now, but then 5 years from now it is. Who knows? It's kind of there's so many
no,
factors
it's
at
all
play.
plays, but in the end, it's an interesting question.
Yeah,
it
very much.
is. It
I
is.
mean, I think
But I
we
think
in the
it's
chat
really
we
relevant.
try
Yeah.
to discuss, but it's you can't really discuss what you like or what is good. Is good successful? Is good?
Now, I always
It's
say
difficult.
it's perfectly fine that you don't like Metallica, but you're not gonna hate on Metallica and their music and all the shit they do because it's hard rock. I can still appreciate Metallica, i- nonetheless, what kind of genre they make. I still hear the music behind it. I always
Yeah,
like, aha, Take on Me. It's such a beautiful song, but the original version, I don't like it. but I like the song. It's one of the best. It's one of my all-time favorites.
What do you mean with
When they
original? Like the what is it?
they
80?
they
Yeah, but the original one, as in from the
when they
80s or
play it
what?
acoustically, blows your freaking mind, man. It's so beautiful. But you can also judge it from the original take. But if you listen just further, like just listen to the music, listen to the words, listen to the melodies, it's a great song, man. Even the original one. But I just don't like how they did it.
Yeah, but even then, personal taste is such a big part in this. As in,
No,
I'm
but
not a big
personal
fan.
taste, yeah, but then it's still good. You don't like it,
That
but it's
depends
still
because
good.
I can listen to Metallica. I don't like it at all. Like,
But it's still good. Or are you now going to say that Metallica is a shitty band? Then
depends.
It's
I'll
just
say
but
so.
No,
let's,
that's something completely different.
what
As
are the
in,
good? We should then go scientific on this. What are the metrics
yeah,
that defines a good track? You
If you
can't
can fill a
measure.
stadium with people who are willing to pay
Doesn't
good
no,
money to
that's
listen
not.
to you, you're doing something really good. You're
But
onto something.
if no one listens to your music, but you love making it, you're doing something really good. It's like
for yourself.
Yeah,
there's
for
no
yourself, but
Yeah,
difference.
your
There's
music might
no
still be
difference.
shit.
Yeah,
To
so what?
you,
Now, apparently for everybody on earth, because nobody
So what?
listens to it.
So
Yeah,
no,
what? You don't. You only
maybe
have
that person
yourself
didn't. Maybe that
to
person
answer to.
didn't try to reach any person, and he just made it for himself in his
yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. It's about people who sending it out and they
Mhm.
don't. They question why don't I get reply? Why doesn't it find traction?
In that
So
case, it could be
yeah,
multiple things. It could be the fact that it's simply not good enough. It could be
yeah.
the fact that you're sending it to the wrong people,
Yeah,
as
and
in
you can also take the conclusion that if you can fill a stadium with people that want to pay $100 to see you play your
sure.
Metallica shit, then it's probably really
But
good
it's. I
shit.
think if you're a producer wondering why they don't take it, I think if it's good or not is not relevant. It's just that piece of work isn't appreciated. So good or bad, you might find it the best thing ever. And I've had this with a lot of songs where I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever produced, even in the beginning. And then my classmates were like, it sounds like shit. And then years later, I find out, oh, it does sound like shit. But that, it doesn't matter. But if you want to make a career out of this, you have to accept that a lot of times, yeah, you shouldn't take personal what the people think, because it can also be a real like demotivator if your track
Now,
isn't good considered to
hey,
the
I'm the
metrics
first to
that we
say you do you and everybody does it, and it's the process of making stuff that is one of the most beautiful things there is. But if nobody replies, it's also perfectly fine to just take the conclusion, well, it might be not good enough
Sure,
yet.
you should be skeptical
it's
always.
irrelevant.
Use
It's
it as
irrelevant.
fuel and
Yeah.
go on.
Here's
No,
a
because
here's the
yeah,
next question from Cherny. What what do you do to make production enjoyable in times when it feels draining? That's a pretty good question. So he says, for example, if I'm at work doing something draining, I'd put music on to make it more bearable. But when it comes to music production, you can't exactly use this tactic because it distracts you from producing.
It's
yeah,
So,
called it's
uh,
called discipline.
sorry?
yeah. It's
It's
just
called discipline.
resilience. Just go on. I mean,
Yeah.
it's I said quite a few times. Making music is also battling frustration, and it's still. Sometimes I come home and I say to my wife, "Listen, honey, I'm a bit frustrated. I have to cool down for a bit." Yeah, because
I'm
it's
going to jump in
frustrating.
the pool.
Let's go into the pool. And no, but it's
What do you advise people who don't have a pool? They can't cool off
oh
like that,
no, then
right?
you're basically fucked,
You're
man.
fucked.
Kill yourself. Oh, oh. No, that's a joke, of course.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Do we have the disclaimer on this podcast? Okay.
Nope.
No, but it can be really frustrating. You set out to do something, and it's always solving problems. It's like at some point you will encounter problems in making a
Yeah.
production,
It's that
and
famous
solving it.
saying.
Yeah,
It's that
it's
famous
always
saying
abstract.
of the what the biggest difference is between you and the person who actually made it to that point is that that person didn't give up, right? It's those
True.
moments where it feels draining, where somebody else says, I just keep going," and the other
Yeah.
person says, let me do something else. You know,
But
like
it's with every learning curve. I mean, if you work out, you will have times that you're like, shit, man, I just
Yeah.
don't feel like pushing these weights.
yep.
I think that's basically life. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's about resilience. Just push on and try to. I mean, it's really important in life also that you find ways that you can just chill and relax, and whether it's gaming or working out or jumping in the pool.
Yeah.
And no, whatever works for you, try to find out how you can relax and unwind, so you can, yeah, let all the frustration go. But it's there, and it's, yeah, it
Part
can
of the
make you
process.
crazy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
always I always tell myself like whether I like it or not is kind of irrelevant. So because there's going to be days where I don't feel like doing the work, but I'm still going to because I don't like it at that time, but I know what my goals are. I know what my self-set deadlines are, my plan is. So it's kind of irrelevant whether I like it, and I have the same with the gym. It's not really relevant. So I just, it's almost like that's the discipline. You almost go on autopilot. You just go, and then you don't allow for any discussion with yourself. So you're kind of like, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym. That thought already never really pops up in my head because I'm going.
Yeah.
Like no discussion.
In
And
my
that's also
calendar.
with working on music. I mean, I think when you're really young, it feels like gaming, it feels like you're 16 and you can make music. So if you're listening now, it feels like gaming if you don't like it. Maybe it's not for you, but that's how I feel it. When I got older, it became sometimes more like work, and I needed to learn how to switch to that same state as I do with working out. Just go, just do the work because you're not always gonna enjoy it, but always after you're way proud of yourself, even if like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, even if you produced shit all day, but you went and you tried and you worked, you're gonna be proud. You're gonna be like,
Yeah.
I did all I could, and that's
Going to the gym will always remain hard, but leaving the gym always feels great. Knowledge bomb.
yeah.
Okay.
Ta-da. We need a
We need a
How do
jingle.
how do you know,
jingle.
Joey?
Sorry?
How do you get to that gym wisdom?
Well,
Did you heard about it from friends or
no, I'm a big
read it
fan
online?
of I'm a big fan of David Goggins' work. Do
Huh.
you know who that guy is?
No.
He's
I
like
don't
he has a great book. But he's an I think he's ex-Marine, ex-Navy SEAL, and he writes books about mindset. As in,
Okay.
he just does ultra running, like 100-mile runs and stuff. Insane, but it's really all built around mindset. And he reframes the moments where he starts to feel frustration or feels procrastination or whatever is coming up. He reframes it to himself and says, "Good," as in
Hey,
the fact.
Joey, another question for you.
Yeah,
You have all these wisdoms and you read all these books, so you have quite a lot of knowledge about mindset,
wait,
resilience, and all that stuff.
yeah.
Let's
Is the
take
live
the
stream
last
out?
two. I don't know.
Hmm?
My YouTube just refreshed. Is the live stream out or is everybody
The live
still?
stream is on. Live stream is on.
Oh,
I
okay.
see it. Yeah,
Perfect. Okay.
Okay,
I
Sorry.
see
so in the
Yeah.
last 2 years, for you, did you achieve something with all that knowledge that you're really proud of?
Yep.
And can you
Um,
tell me something about it? Because I think that's nice to know, like, this helped me there and this.
well, this is the frustration part is a big thing. As in, as soon as I feel that I'm scared of something or like I'm frustrated about something or I don't want to do that certain task, I push myself like I just have to do it because I know that that's where the growth is. So if there's a certain thing I have to do for artist coaching, which might not be my favorite thing to do, like writing the book, for example, writing is not a fun thing to do. It's mentally breaking in a lot of ways. But I knew that I wanted to get that result, so I have to do that work in order to get that result. So I just scheduled out time in my calendar for the next. I think it was until the end. Like every Wednesday morning, I just blocked out time to write on the book for 3 hours. And that took me, I don't know, 10, 15 weeks to write it. And now it's kind of done. So now I can take that time out. But
It's actually not even that much.
no, it's not that much. But it's also not that big of a book. It's 60 pages or something.
Okay.
But
Still impressive.
sitting down for 3 hours and working on a book is not fun. But I just know now, just like you know with the studio as well, it's only the first 2 minutes. Once you sit down and you're actually working on the project, time flies by. Like those 3 hours is just boom, it's gone.
Yeah, up until you get to a point like,
Yeah,
I
where you're
I
just
just don't know
where you're
right
just
now.
mentally drained or something. But then I
Yeah.
just go out for a walk, refresh, and see if I'm still capable of writing that day. But that's why I kept it with 3 hours, so I just knew I can sit there for 3 hours straight, be all in, be fully focused, and just do that consistently for X amount of weeks, and that's it. So that's a big thing. And whenever I feel that I have to make a decision and that I'm kind of scared to make it, scared might not be the right word, but well, maybe it is. That's also when I know, like, okay, there's something here, something to learn. And then I'm trying to lean towards making the decision. Um, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what helped me.
Okay.
And it brings you further, as in it just gets you, just gets you to where you want to go in a lot of ways.
I like asking you questions, I notice now.
Yeah, you should do that more often.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, back to the community questions. When you were starting out in music production, how did you deal with the overwhelming amount of automation, effects, and details needed to finish a track? And what advice would you give beginners facing the same struggle?
One step at the time. I mean, there's so much you can do. It's
Yeah.
to be
I
honest, to just refer back to recreating music that already exists. That's a helpful tool.
Yeah, and I think the idea in your head is very important. So it's not like all these automation tactics, whatever. If you begin, you don't even know what automation means. You have something, you're like, hey, I want to make it do that. And then you're just going to think about how can I reach this with the tools in this program. You open a plugin, maybe it's a reverb, but you were looking for a filter. You don't know all the names. You have to just try it out. But I think the idea in your head, this is where I want that sound to go. That's important because that's how
Mm.
you're gonna like find a certain term. Like, hey, what I want the bass to be gone when the kick hits. A year later, maybe, or a month or a week, you find out, hey, that's called sidechaining. So you type in YouTube sidechaining, you learn more about it. That's how you, and then especially one step at a time is then important. Don't try to learn all the ins and outs right away. Start small.
Yeah,
Do you
good,
do
good
do you do
answers.
filter sidechaining, frequency sidechaining, or volume?
Any,
Okay.
depends on what
All
you
of the
want.
above.
Or what I
Yeah,
do,
yeah. Yeah?
volume.
Yeah, volume. Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. No, because when you said it, it was like, see now, sidechaining with his frequencies.
Hey, here's a production question from Mikey Foden. For mixdowns, what level do you start your kick and bass at? I've been trying to figure out if I'm leveling my kicks and bass too high and not giving enough room for leads to shine.
I never have a certain level. Sometimes I just start and then later on think like, ooh, it should probably all go down. Usually you start too loud, but you just aim for you aim for that -4, -6 dB, and then yeah, when you see something or your mix track go like really high as opposed to others, then it will probably peak in your mix, and that's yeah kind of a send off like this is probably too loud. And for the rest, just listen. But your whole mix down, in my opinion, should be below 0, and then you gonna pump up in your master. But that's just me.
Okay. Question from Melodramatic. What does your daily routine looks like when you are making music? Do you follow a set schedule and keep a delicate balance between music and family? or do you just wake up and let the cards fall wherever they fall?
I make a plan per day. Usually the night before, the day before, I decide what I'm gonna do. I write it down in the morning, and then sometimes it gets interrupted by things with the kids, which I am very happy with. So I'm not. So you need to. That's, I think, a good tactic to know what you're gonna do in a certain day, but also have that flexibility a bit, to be able to change. Like if your kid's sick, there's always something going to happen, and something unexpected. Not only when you have kids, I think in general.
Yeah, you can't control life, right?
Yeah. So keep things, keep deadlines, and sometimes it's like, okay, well then I'm gonna have to stay home or work in the evening. But usually I just think per day, what am I gonna do? Kind of
Yeah.
per week, but per day, then I really narrow it down.
Me too. I have like the 80-20 rule, as in I try to spend my time completely scheduled, as in every week I just know what I should do when I'm working, when I'm with family, when I'm working out, when I'm with friends. But as you said, life is life. Sometimes things happen you don't expect. So there's always a 20% room for flexibility. But most of it is scheduled, to be honest.
Yeah, for me, my whole week's actually just the same, which I like. You wake up, you dress up the kids, put some food in them, make sure they go to pee before they go to school. Then I bring them. Usually with and now it's been nice weather. Then I have my bakfiets, and then
Hey.
and then I go to work. I'm here usually a little bit past 8, and then I start. I make a cup of coffee. The dishwasher is full, so I have to take that out. Then you do your shit here. Then you start, and then around 5:30 I go home. Yeah, have dinner with the kids. Maybe jump in the pool, and
Little
no,
Wim Hof.
nighttime is for working out, playing padel, do something fun with the kids, and yeah, I like it like that. And if something happens, or one or two is sick, then yeah, you just. I mean, we have a lot of freedom being artists. I think that's one of the biggest perks we get. My mom and dad, I brought them to the airport yesterday during the day. I mean, nobody tells us shit about what we do. That's why we need discipline and structure also.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, if you just keep the routine going, then you have loads of room to do your shit next to it.
Yeah, true. But it's good to realize that routines and structures is something that every person needs. So even when you think I'm not that type of person, you are. Everybody needs it. Just in a certain way. You should figure out how it works for you, but you do thrive better when you have structure and systems in your life. A question from McLaren, which is interesting.
McLaren.
McLaren, yeah.
Huh.
What is your best advice to those that want to be a producer, DJ, but still has a day job? Sometimes my job would require long hours, and once I'm at home, I've got no energy to work on my music. Sometimes even I had to go to work on the weekend. How do you guys find the balance? I'm trying not to give myself more excuses for not working on my music.
No, that's a hard one, and I was still in college when I started. For me, college was okay, easy. So, in my opinion, I had loads of time. I did work a side job during college, though. Yeah, I think it's hard. Yeah, in the end, it's a hobby, and also for us, it's like a hobby that grew out to these, yeah, weird proportions that it became a job. And yeah, I think I would never consider it as being something different. If
Yeah.
that answers the question.
No, as you said, like I think for us it all has been different, but I think the answer to this question, because I have quite a few clients who have struggled with the same issue, the only real answer is that you have to deal with everything you have in your life. You know, if you only have an hour a day to work on your music, and sometimes you're just too tired, then that is reality. But eventually, it comes down to that the fact that your decisions lead to your actions, as in if
Yeah, it's
yeah,
it this sounds harsh, but it's the kind of the same as if you don't feel like it. It's kind of irrelevant. If you want to make music, you
yeah,
have to fit it into your schedule regardless. And I think that's something where kind of the discipline comes in. And I'm not saying it's easy with a day job, because I cannot imagine then also having to make music. But I think it's kind of, if you want to reach something in music, it's kind of, you have to, so it's, you have
Yeah.
yeah.
to, and I
You
think,
know, yeah.
yeah, being tired is, I get it, but it is not really an excuse. And there's definitely days where I'm like, oh, but I have to then put it aside. That you have to just keep going.
You know,
But
Um,
being practical, if you work so much and you sometimes also work in the weekend, if you have the option to work a day less for, let's say, a year or so,
yeah.
yeah, it's not a bad option. And see where it gets you. The correlation between more time and more output in the studio, I think, is not so obviously present as a lot of
no,
people think.
COVID proved that, I think.
Yeah, but of course, when you have like no time as opposed to 1 day a week, then the correlation is pretty much there. But if it would 2 or 3 days, then the correlation would be a lot less. And yeah, so thread wisely and never give up something. I mean, if you also like your work, that's also really cool. And
Yeah.
if that makes you happy.
I've had a period in my life where I worked at a label during the day and I was setting up artist coaching in the evening. And to be honest, that those evenings gave me a lot of energy, as in the fact that I liked it so much and it was something that I built, it was something from me. I was looking during the day, I was looking forward to make music at night. So,
It's the time before kids.
well, I don't,
Just
yeah,
having so much energy in the evening. I mean, I that's why I've been telling people I have young kids now. I really had to make a switch, because there's just less time where you're when you can make music, but then also just the time in the evenings. The evenings are used to be a big part of my production schedule, and now it's hard to, if you want to find time for your family, to also work in the evenings. So I, in that sense, get that. The struggle, but it's then, if you have something to work on, you have some kind of goal ahead of you, you're going to do whatever it takes. So I think
yeah.
that's something that, what's the goal that you're striving for, is also the thing you should keep in mind to McLaren. To like, is it worth that you're gonna miss out on sleep or time with friends? And that's, you have to ask yourself that along the way. But
You
yeah.
know what's fun in the chat is that people are talking about that challenge, that 30-minute music challenge that is going on right now. For You's participating and Melodramatic as well. Melodramatic is actually doing 15-minute sessions a day, and
Hey, by the way, sorry to
yeah,
interrupt, but he sent me some music.
sounds fat, right?
Real deal.
Yeah. And what's fun to see is that even if you spend 15 minutes or 30 minutes a day, like the output that might come from that is insane. So just as Ralph said, more time in the studio doesn't equal more output. This is kind of the proof, as in people spend minutes a day and still get a lot of output. So that's also something you could try. But still, you have to sit down for 30 minutes when you're tired. So, question from Gabe for you. I just released an EP last Friday, and currently I'm on number 2 on the main stage releases on Beatport. That's nice.
Yo.
Does that matter to labels, making it more willingly to sign you, or is it still the social media marketing they are looking for?
No, both work. I mean, to be honest, I'm heading to Beatport right now to check it out. And, you always check out the top hundreds over there. And if people are in the top 10, you want to know more. You're going to give it a listen. and it opens a whole new group of people for you that will listen to your shit and will see your name. So it matters really a lot.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
and I think it's like you should always reach out to labels, but I think we are in the age, you have to make your own success. So like you're not gonna find easily a label where you can always, let's say, dump your music and they will make it work. It's better to have people around you who can help you with that, and then the labels knock on your door eventually, hopefully. But it's the age of the independent artists, I think
Yeah.
so. But it's definitely congrats. I think it's huge that you're on Beatport that high.
He mentions that he's
um
also on number 7 in the trend releases on Beatport. That's pretty sick.
Nice.
But
Amazing.
I actually saw an interesting clip last week from a label manager.
Trends?
Yeah, trance as well. It's number
Oh,
7 on
trance. Oh,
trance. Yeah, trance.
trance.
But I saw an interesting clip from a label manager last week as well, where he explained as well, like that when
Number
artists send
7.
7 when
That's
they send their
Potato Heads
music.
and Maddox, but Potato Heads is the old one, right?
No, it's what's
Potato Heads.
it's
That's
called
the
For
mix and
You
master.
Take Control.
Oh.
Anyway, he was saying that when artists send him music and those artists have no followers and it's their third release, he was also saying like I need artists who have done the work themselves. Like as you said, at the time of the individual
I
art.
don't want to work anymore. I'm a label
No, it's not like
manager. I
they
don't
don't
want to
want to do
work.
the work, but it's more like you should have put in a lot of reps yourself first before you come to a label. And yeah, I think that's true in
I
a
mean
certain
that, but
way.
that's such irrelevant feedback. It's like you have to make your own luck. You have to make your own career, your own team. That label manager, I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I
Probably
don't know who it was as
really
well.
good, but it's he's kind of irrelevant, I think, going forward.
Depends. As in, if it's a really big label with a big fan base and quite a big impact, then he is relevant. I'm not sure who he was, but
Name a label that now really you release there and you instantly have a fan base. There's not many labels
there's
like
not
that, I
many,
think.
but there's a few.
Okay,
Like
name one.
name.
I think Dirty Bird is one of those labels. I think
Dirty Bird.
Defected, as in DFTD, is quite strong. Tool Room is still quite strong.
I still think if you release there, there's not a single fan who goes to
No?
clubs who will, maybe one, but I think you really need more than a label release now
And that
to get a
Maddox
name.
label, the label of Maddox, don't you think those? Huh?
That's
I
nice,
think
but I like the curation of Maddox. Yeah.
Stamped seems
yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah.
strong.
But it's not like the fans really care
There's
where their music's gonna come
loads
in the end.
of releases on all those labels that you just never heard of. But I mean, the
Like
curation of Maddox, I really like it. I think he displays really good music on his label. He has a really good ear for it, and and it proves. He has some really good tracks on his label that performed really well.
One guy, For You, also mentions Experts Only.
Yeah, I mean John Summit, he's the guy to look at. I don't know if you know him, Joey, but he's doing pretty well. And Experts
Summit.
Only, if you don't know it yet, then man,
I think a label matters if you need to get your track heard by certain DJs. So like for
oh, but
the
Experts Only is a really good example. I mean, John Summit, he's on top of the world. I think he's
Mhm.
doing really well. He also, I feel like it's not the genre I look into the most, but I think he curates a lot himself that comes on Experts Only, and he plays it out as well.
that's
Yeah,
what makes that stand out. I think he plays it out.
yeah,
He gets
sure,
it to
yeah, yeah,
DJs
yeah.
that also play it out. So it's kind of also the
That's also how Maddox
watermark of
does it. Yeah, and I'm
yeah.
not sure if John Summit also does it like that, but I think so. But yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, in my opinion, as well. That's how I
Yeah,
would run
yeah,
a label as well.
yeah.
Guys, do you have anything to shill?
Yeah, we have so much to chill, man. Is DJ Mag voting still open? Everybody should vote for DJ Mag
I
for
don't
your
think it's
favorite
open.
DJ. And then if you have voted for us as your favorite DJ, then you can also fill in Jay Hardway if you like to. I think he's doing really well. He's good at melodies. He doesn't like melodies done by modern artists, but
No.
he likes his
Such a,
own melodies,
such a
and
hater.
which is the most important part of music.
No, no,
Um,
no, no, no. Ralph and me, I think sometimes just have a different language, and we are saying a lot of times the same thing, but just like this. As we're like,
let me
bye.
fill you in, and everybody can comment on it. But
Here we
he
go.
thought the main melody of Klankcarousel's Toter Schmetterling sounds cheap.
You're wrong. You're phrasing it wrong.
You said
I
it.
love the melody. I love the melody.
That's
The
you
way it
never
is
said
in the
it.
original, the sound of it is it isn't cheap. I think that's a cheap sound. It's a choice of the artist, and I can respect it like that. But the melody is good.
The
That's why I
melody is
like the Tiesto
amazing.
edit. That's how I like the
Yeah.
Tiesto edit.
So nothing to chill. Okay.
Well, no, I'm not gonna. I was gonna say there's so much music. But I think you should just release
So,
music instead
so
of.
much going on.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you don't follow Bass Checkers or Jay Hardway right now,
By now.
then stop
Exactly.
listening, man.
Exactly.
No, and
Okay.
I mean, also I want to point out there's a few of the listeners here that from time to time send in tracks, and like I said, also that's chill melodramatic. I think he's doing really well. He has some interesting takes on music. I can hear he enjoys making it, and sometimes for me, he kind of lacks construction in his tracks. But I had a lot of fun listening to it, and he's doing really well, and I like it, and I hope he will make it. Yeah, he's doing really well, and I want to point that out. I think that's a good one to chill.
Definitely. He will
Mellow,
be.
keep it on, man.
He
I
will
really
be.
enjoyed your track.
He will be at ADE, so we'll get to meet
Yeah.
him in person. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
For everybody listening right now, don't forget those don't
AE
forget
tickets.
to get those ADE
He's
tickets.
been to a
Well,
There's
festival,
only
guys.
3 left.
there's only 3
Joey
left.
has been to a festival. Cut him some slack. He needs a few
Yeah.
weeks to recover.
I need to recover for 5 days. No, that's all
He
good.
cannot even do his hair anymore, as you can see.
Dude, look at how
Dude, it
tight
looks
this is.
nice.
What
Oh,
the?
okay.
You use my wax?
No. Oh
My
yeah, actually
wax,
I did. But the
dude.
funny thing is,
There is something about Mary situation going
the
on?
funny thing with that wax is, if I use
Really?
it once a week, I can go on that same stuff for the rest of the week. It's
Yeah,
insane.
of
It
course.
just
You need to
And
wash
you
it
only need
first
like a
before it goes
tiny
out.
bit. It's magical.
yeah.
It's like grease,
Egg
man.
Boy Magical. Egg Boy Magical is out now.
Eggball Magical right now. If you
Came out
haven't
Friday.
liked, subscribe to this channel, please do so because that helps us enormously to reach a bigger crowd. If you haven't joined our Discord yet, please do so as well. It's a very fun Discord where we talk about music and releases and all that stuff throughout the
You
week.
can ask your questions there.
You
so
can
we
ask
will.
your questions, you can leave your clips of
Yep.
the week, all that stuff. And don't forget to check out artistcoaching.nl, our website, where you can find out more about personal coaching, which is actually just updated. I redid the whole design. So
Boom!
yeah,
With
check it out if you
AI.
want. And we will be back next week with a fresh new episode. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for listening or watching.
Hey.
Bye bye.